Hey everybody, it's Natalie. I am back with you again for a second video in the Drops of Love educational series. And today I am going to do a little session on geranium oil. It is kind of a tough oil to talk about because there's so many good qualities of geranium oil. It's hard to narrow it down and know exactly what to pinpoint. Like just to that end, one of the nicknames for geranium oil is actually the poor man's rose. So if you are familiar at all with rose and rose oil, we know that that is the oil that carries the highest vibration, so it can really do so very much for us. And when we refer to geranium as the poor man's rose, we're basically acknowledging that it has a similar smell, kind of as, you know, it smells a little bit like rose, while at the same time it can perform a lot of the same functions in the body. It can do a lot of the same, have a lot of the same benefits. So let's jump in, and I will talk to you about some of the more common uses, popular uses for geranium. And then, you know, I'm going to really encourage you to have a look at some of these books that a lot of the other people in the series have already shown you and talked to you about. But dive in and take a look, and you'll learn a lot more because there's just so much to this wonderful oil. So you can't really think about geranium oil without looking at the skin and what it's doing for your skin, because it's a terrific skin oil. And I would have to say that as far as the skin and geranium goes, it's has such a wide application. So it can be good for all kinds of skin types and all ages. Take, for example, the fact that geranium oil works particularly well on congested skin. So congested skin is where people often think of congested skin as being a product of not being cleansed properly, because congested skin means that you've got blackheads and clogged pores. But there's a little bit more to it than that. There's actually a physiological component where your pores are larger. And with those larger pores, they can collect residual makeup or smog or pollutants in the air that are going to get stuck in there. Even if you are cleansing properly, even if you're doing a regular cleansing process, just by your physiological composition of larger pores, you're going to get some stuff stuck in there. And also when the body's pushing out dead cells, etc., they get clogged in there. So the geranium oil comes in very handy for that because it's got the antibacterial qualities. So it'll get rid of all the residue in your pores. But the cool part is that it also is an astringent. So the astringent property in it will constrict those pores. So it'll actually cleanse them and then constrict them so that they're not going to continue to collect. You've gotten rid of your congested skin. Isn't that amazing? And congested skin can span all age groups. So it's very good. And then so we look at acne. It's good for acne. It's good for oily skin. Because of its regenerative properties, it's very good for scars, and it's very good for wrinkles. And even to that end, if you are getting to the age where you have some sagging and that kind of thing going on, the geranium oil is excellent because of the astringent and the tightening properties. It's like it gives you a bit of a facelift. It's actually tightening for your skin too. So think geranium, think skin, think clear, toned, and radiant. That's what it'll do for you with all of its qualities. So I would suggest taking a little bit of coconut oil in the palm of your hands and then putting a drop or two of geranium in with your coconut oil, and then you can put that on your face at night. Daytime, the coconut oil might be a little oily for you, so what you can do is just add a drop or two to your existing moisturizer, and you can do that day or night, either method. Okay, so let's think about this now. So we're toned, we're radiant, and we're clear. And if you want to spice up your life and strut a little bit, geranium also is really good for increasing your libido. So you can feel good, look good, and feel good. And what you can do to do that is just take a drop or two of your geranium and put it under your tongue. And that'll help to spice up your life that way too. Headed to the gym? If you're headed to the gym, geranium's your oil too, because it's really good for curtailing body odor. And that is due to its antibacterial qualities, but layered upon its antibacterial qualities is the fact that geranium oil is also a circulatory oil. So that means that when you're putting it on your skin, on your body, and then when your body's ready to release it or get rid of it, the primary way that a circulatory oil is released is back out through the skin. So not only does the geranium oil curtail the bacteria, which is what makes your sweat smell, is the bacteria. So not only is it going to address that and clean that up, but by virtue of the fact that it's coming out through the skin, it's going to come out with your perspiration. And guess what? You have sweet smelling sweat. So try it. Go to the gym, come out smelling like geraniums. Good plan. Geranium oil can be very calming, and it can help with insomnia. And it can also help with PMS and with the other end of the spectrum there, menopausal conditions. So that can be things like the anxiety that goes along with menopause. That can be things like hot flashes. So you can see where you put all that together, why that would help to be calming and help with insomnia too. That's kind of a package deal that all works together there. I want to flip to emotional now. There's a lot more that could be said about physical, but like I said, there's just so much. I'm going to flip to emotional now. And I want to highlight the fact that, okay, have you ever heard anybody say, I don't know how I feel? I don't know how I feel about that. You know, it's a common expression, and it's a funny one to think that you don't know how you feel, but yet it's real. There's a lot of us that get stuck in that, and we've lost touch with how we feel about certain things. We get too much in our head, we get too theoretical, we get too strategic, and we lose our heart. So geranium is the oil that really helps us to connect again with our heart. It's known as the oil of love and of trust. The oil of love, isn't that beautiful? It really is beautiful. So it means that it helps us to see the goodness in humanity, to see the goodness in other people, and it allows us to more freely love that person when we see their goodness. And the cool part about that is that it helps us to receive the love back. And sometimes that's harder than loving. Sometimes receiving love is difficult for a lot of us. So geranium will indeed help you to both love and to be loved in return. It helps with trusting, which is a part of that package. It's going to be a part of the whole ability to love and the libido and all that other stuff too. So it enables you again, you know, when you're bombarded with all the things on the media about what's going on in the world, we can easily lose our trust in humanity, and geranium helps to restore that. So if you're feeling wounded or unheard or neglected, reach for your geranium. It restores your love and your trust in your fellow human beings and in humanity. And because it's a floral oil, all of the floral oils are going to help you with self-expression. They're going to help you feel full of light and purposeful, and so you have a meaning. So the floral oils and geranium in particular, because it's the particular oil for love and trust, are those days where you feel defeated and you feel unloved and neglected, and putting geranium on you is like wrapping yourself in a hug and feeling loved and feeling like you want to love and full of purpose. So I'm going to recommend one very cool way to do that. One very cool way to experience all of that. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a concept called aromatic dressing. It is something you wouldn't necessarily want to do every day, or you could, but I consider it as something you do on one of those days that you need some particular support with your oils, or on a day that you're setting aside for yourself a little bit, you're doing a little bit of pampering. So the concept of aromatic dressing is basically where you're going to cover yourself from toe all the way up in oil. And I've done this a number of times, and I think I've figured out the way to do it most effectively. If you just take your fractionated coconut oil and very quickly, no geranium to start off with, just take your fractionated coconut oil and layer your whole body in it. Just push it all over your body. And then do it again. This time put your coconut oil in your hand, put 1 or 2 drops of geranium in, and then just pat it. Here, 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 here. And then once you've done that, because you already have your layer of coconut oil on, then you can just go and rub it in, and it'll go smoothly all over your system. So that's what we call aromatic dressing. You're dressed in your oil and you're ready to go. And in this case, it's because it's a skin oil, how fantastic of a choice to choose for aromatic dressing. It's going to help your skin all over your body while giving you that sense of being loved and being able to love. I don't think that just fresh out of the bottle, it's pretty strong. If you smell it, some people might find that a little too strong. But I would encourage you to try the aromatic dressing or try diffusing it. It pairs very nicely with rose or neroli or ylang ylang or copaiba even. I would suggest that before you smell it out of the bottle and think it's strong, try one of these things, because in my mind's eye, it smells very different diffused. It smells very different paired with other oils. And it smells very different when you apply it on your body. It really has a very nice smell. Okay, so like I said, there's a lot to say about geranium. Do go and search it out a little bit more. You will never regret using geranium. It's a wonderful oil. Thanks so much for listening. Have a wonderful day.